YouTube? It's Michael Lambert here. I'm back once again with another reaction video. Once again, I'm reacting to Brockster Craft Animations. In this video, Historic and Defunct, Six Flags, AstroWorld. He asked me to react to this video, and I'm going to react to it right now. And if any notifications pop up during the video, I apologize, and I will take care of them. Now let's get to this video.
What's up, dudes and dudettes? It's Brock here with a new voice. Tell me what you think of my new voice in the comments below.
Wow.
Anyway, today, as promised, I'm gonna tell you the full story of Six Flags AstroWorld, which was an amusement park that operated in Houston, Texas for 37 years.
Whoa.
We discussed Jazzland, we looked at Geauga Lake, and now, let's get on down to it. It all started with one man's idea. Judge Roy Hines, who had also served as Houston, Texas mayor at that time and who was the original owner of the Houston Astros baseball team, had new ideas in the early 1960s. What inspired him was Disneyland and Texas' very first park, Six Flags Over Texas.
Wow.
Also during that time, he personally saw the construction of the Houston Astrodome, which opened in 1965 as the world's first fully domed multipurpose stadium and the eighth wonder of the world.
Wow.
After that success, Hines had then founded the Astrodomain, which would include a convention center named Astro Hall, on-property hotels, and a brand new amusement park named AstroWorld. In 1967, Hines announced the park to the public, and construction for $25 million soon began in that fall. Randall Duell helped design the park during construction, and many obstacles were cleared from the start. The first issue was that the ground was particularly wet and swampy and could easily flood, so 500,000 CUYD of filled dirt were placed. Hines then noted that the humid weather would likely impact families' enjoyment at the park, so the air conditioning group would add fans blowing from cool water into shaded areas. A long pedestrian viaduct—
Sorry everybody, had to crack my neck, or at least tried to, sorry.
Bridge was built crossing over the Loop Interstate 610 highway connecting from the Astrodome's parking lot. At one point, a monorail system was discussed to shuttle guests in the Astrodomain properties, but this never came to be. The park's name, as well as the Astrodome and the Houston Astros baseball team, are tributes to the newly constructed Johnson Space Center. AstroWorld officially opened its doors to the public on June 1, 1968, and it welcomed over 50,000 guests in its first weekend. The park became successful because of its theming, attractions, and especially air condition. Duell divided the park into 8 different sections: Americana Square, Oriental Corner, Plaza de Fiesta, Children's World, Western Junction, European Village, Alpine Valley, and Maudeville. Americana Square featured gift shops and restaurants. This section had a similar appearance to Disneyland's Main Street USA. Oriental Corner was Asian-themed and featured a station for the 610 Limited, which was the park's train that shuttled guests around the park, the Black Dragon, and a station for the Astroway Skyway lifts. Plaza de Fiesta had a Mexican theme and featured the Lost World Rio Misterio Adventure, aka the River of No Return, which was a water attraction where riders would
Sorry, I had an itch right there, sorry.
Encounter statues and animals, with the boats of course being air-conditioned. Children's World, as the name suggests, featured attractions for younger children such as a boot slide, the Barnyard Petting Zoo, the Maypole Teacups Ride, and the Rubber Dub. Western Junction featured another station for the 610 Limited, the Crystal Palace Theater, Wagon Wheel, a Chance Trabant, and a shooting gallery game. European Village featured the Astro Needle, originally named Skyrama. This 340-foot-long double-decker Intamin Euro Tower was one of the centerpieces of the park. The area also featured Le Antique Taxi, which were French taxi car rides. Alpine Valley featured a carousel, another station for the Astroway, and the Alpine Sleigh Ride. This was the park's most popular attraction on opening day. This was clearly inspired by Disneyland's Matterhorn Mountain Dark Ride. The attraction was especially popular in the hottest days of the summer. Maudeville featured the AstroWheel, which was a double-lifted Ferris wheel, a scrambler ride named Orbiter/The Happening, and the spin-out sport car rides. After the success of the park, plans for expansions went forward since there was plenty of empty land to grow. In 1969, the Oriental Village Corner received 2 new attractions from Aero Development, a log flume named the Bamboo Chute, and the park's very first roller coaster known as the Serpent, which was the last junior mini mine train coaster they built. In 1970, the park received a new expansion and opened Fun Island, a smaller area located in the park's lagoon between Oriental Corner and European Village. This section featured 2 other new attractions, the Wacky Shack, which was a titled illusion funhouse, and the park's second roller coaster named the Swamp Buggy Ride, which was a small 45 to 55-foot chance rides toboggan coaster. In 1972, AstroWorld received another new major expansion, Country Fair.
Wow.
This area included AstroWorld's first major roller coaster, the Dexter Frebish's electric roller ride, a mine train coaster by Aerodynamics, the Darefinder binder bumper cars, and a new carousel. AstroWorld's official mascot, Marvel McFay, made his debut around this time. The character would get his own theater and stage show. In 1973, the Swamp Buggy was removed from the park. In the following year, a performance stage was constructed on the base of the Astroneedle.
Spoiler alert. I brought back my Matthew voice in another text-to-speech website. Anyway, a new change was on the horizon. In 1975, Hoff-Heinz allowed Six Flags to purchase the park for a 20-year lease, and would now advertise it as AstroWorld, a member of Six Flags family. This made AstroWorld the 4th Six Flags park, and the first one acquired by the chain. In 1976, the Coney Island/USA area would open in the Maudeville section, which would bring a new theater and a new wooden coaster. The Coney Island Cyclone was in danger of almost being torn down in order to expand the New York Aquarium, with AstroWorld's original idea to buy the Cyclone, but the cost was just too high. Instead, famous coaster designer William Cobb was hired to design a taller and faster mirror-imaged version of the original Cyclone. Construction took longer due to a tropical storm damaging the north end of the coaster. Despite the delay, the Texas Cyclone opened to the public in 1976 and quickly was labeled the #1 wooden roller coaster. In 1978, a new roller coaster, named Grease Lightning, opened in the Western Junction section. Being the park's first looping coaster, this coaster was a classic shuttle loop coaster designed by Anton Schwarzkopf. This coaster used a flywheel launch that would accelerate you through a vertical loop pretty quickly. However, in the 1980s, there would be some more major changes. In 1980, the park began as a testing ground, beginning with another new attraction, Thunder River. Manufactured by Intamin, this water ride was the world's first ever water rapids ride. In 1981, the Country Fair section was given a medieval theme and renamed Nottingham Village, with the Dexter Freebish electric roller ride also given a medieval theme, a new brownish red paint job, and renamed Excalibur. The Astro Wheel was also removed at this time. On November 22, 1982, Judge Roy Hoff-Heinz, after suffering a stroke, leaving him in a wheelchair, had passed away from a heart attack. Despite the loss of the founder, his family dedicated him and his projects. In 1983, the park received another major expansion called Water World, a separate water park. In 2002, they decided to have guests give access to both parks with one ticket. Also in 1983, the park...
I need a minute. Hold on, everyone. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody.
Park opened Sky Screamer, which was a first-generation Intamin drop tower. All in that year, one of the park's original attractions, the Alpine Sleigh Ride, would close due to high maintenance run, leaving the mountain abandoned for 10 years. In 1984, the park removed half of Children's World to make way for the Aerohus suspended swinging coaster XLR8, or Really Accelerate. Several years later in Fright Fest 2002, the coaster would turn around on some of its trains. Also in 1984, Marvel McPhee's time as the park's mascot ended, in favor of Six Flags Looney Tunes characters, with many other the remaining children's attractions being rethemed and renamed Enchanted Kingdom. During the 80s, a TV program would be shot here named Videosity Live and dance club named Studio A would open. Looping Starship was installed in 1986. 2 years later, a new waterlogged flume named Tidal Wave opened, replacing the River of No Return, which was rethemed to the wetlands. In 1989, Viper was installed in the Oriental Village. This coaster was a Schwarzkopf looping star coaster. In 1990, Ultra Twister, the first and only Togo pipeline coaster to ever come to the U.S., was relocated from Six Flags Great Adventure and installed in the European Village. In 1993, the park opened a heavily themed coaster in the European Village, named Batman, The Escape, an Intamin stand-up coaster, which would be themed to the DC Comics superhero. As for what Batman, The Escape was, well, I already talked about that. But AstroWorld had finally found enough usage for the mountain that was previously home for the Alpine sleigh ride. They used this existing structure for the Batcave and would feature props straight from Batman Returns. In 1995, another new heavily themed coaster, Mayan Mindbender, which was an indoor Vekoma MK700 coaster relocated from Bobolo Island, opened in the Oriental section. Although the coaster wasn't very tall or fast, the dark experience added an extra thrill. In February 1998, Premier Parks, led by CEO Karen Burke, acquired Six Flags Entertainment from Time Warner, with the park having since been renamed Six Flags AstroWorld, but most people would call the park as simply AstroWorld. A year prior, Skyscreamer was removed and replaced with a second-generation Intamin drop tower called Dungeon Drop. Also in 1998, the Texas Tornado, or in Looney Tunes way, Taz's Texas Tornado, which was a Schwarzkopf multiple Olympia looping coaster, was opened and would operate for only 2 seasons, despite its popularity. The same year Texas Tornado and Dungeon Drop opened, one of the park's classic coasters, Excalibur, was finally closed after 26 seasons.
Wow.
The land Excalibur occupied was used the following year on May 29, 1999 to open a Vekoma SLC suspended looping coaster, called Serial Thriller, which would be the last coaster to ever be added in the park. The year 2000 proved to be a rough year, as Texas Tornado closed due to it having frequent tackling breakdown problems from the humid days, and one of AstroWorld's original attractions, the Astro Needle, was dismantled. In 2003, the park decided to return its roots as a testing ground. During that year, the park debuted SWAT, which was the world's first of only 2 Spinning Skies water rides ever built by SS and Diablo Falls, which was another rapids ride that doesn't get you wet. But little did the fans know, was that these were AstroWorld's last receiving additions. In 2003 and 2004, some of the coasters received new coats of paint. Batman, The Escape received a yellow-black scheme to make sense with Batman's actual color.
Wow.
Ultra Twister received a new better green-blue scheme replacing its original bluish-white color, and XLR8 received a much brighter teal blue-orangish yellow scheme replacing the original rusting blackish blue-gray. Unfortunately, when the Houston Texans football team created in 2002, the Astrodome had been joined by a new replacing next-door neighbor, Reliance Stadium, now Energy Stadium, which is a much larger facility. Energy Reliance Stadium would not only host football games, but other special events, including the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo. Since AstroWorld and the Astrodome had shared parking lots, now with Reliance Stadium, finding parking for either venue became a difficult problem. No one could have expected what was about to happen.
37 years of Houston history have come to a close.
Six Flags AstroWorld is shut down for good this evening. Well, they said it would happen about 6. It took longer.
Hold on, everyone. Let me take care of this notification. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody.
Because some fans just didn't want to say goodbye.
11 News reporter Jeremy Diesel was there tonight for the final ride. He joins us now to tell us about the end. Jeremy.
On September 12, 2005, CEO of Six Flags, Karen Burke, announced that AstroWorld would not reopen for the 2006 season due to decreased attendance, increasingly rude visitors, strong neglections, and unfortunate profits. The parking issue was the main reason Burke cited for the closure. They expected to receive $150 million for the land the park was on. Six Flags AstroWorld would have its final day of operation on October 30, 2005. Following the closure, Six Flags inspectors had to spend a course around $20 million to demolish the park and clear the land.
Holy moly,
the goal $150 million for the land was not completed as it was sold for only $77 million, which was nearly far below what was expected. These events prompted Six Flags shareholders to make a decision to fire Karen Berg from the position of CEO. In addition, some blame the Reliance Stadium for making this an eyesore. A lot of the rides were dismantled and relocated, others that couldn't afford to be relocated.
Excuse me, sorry I burped twice, and excuse me again, sorry.
It were just discarded and demolished on the property, depending on their age. Only these first 3 roller coasters continue to operate. Texas Tornado first was relocated to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom as Zonga, then was sent to Mexico's San Marcos National Fair, where it now operates as Tsunami. Serial Thriller was initially put into storage at the Great Escape, but it reopened at La Ronde in 2010 as Endor.
Wow.
Mayan Mindbender reopened as an outdoor coaster called at Amarillo, Texas Wonderland Park Hornet. Swamp Buggy's fate remains unknown, but's likely defunct by now. Like I said before, Batman, the Escape was relocated to Darien Lake, but due to that park being put up for sale at that time, it wasn't worth reconstructing. The coaster was sold for scrap in 2018 after Rusty in the Sun for many years. Grease Lightning suffered a similar fate. The coaster was sent to Lubbock's Joyland Amusement Park, but wasn't built due to the park's unstable ground. It was then sent to Cliffs Amusement Park in Albuquerque, New Mexico, but that also didn't work. At one point, there was a plan to send the coaster to the upcoming Grand Texas theme park, but that also never commenced. Grease Lightning's trains were reused on Frontier City's Silver Bullet, and the ride was scrapped in 2019. Excalibur was scrapped the same year the AstroWorld shut down. Ultra Twister was relocated to Six Flags America near Washington, D.C., but unfortunately, by the time it got there, it was damaged beyond repair, and with Togo's American offices previously going out of business, it wasn't worth repairing it. So it sat in storage for a few years before getting scrapped in 2010. Flat rides such as Thunder River, Bamboo Shoot, the Astroway, and the Astroneedle were all sadly demolished and scrapped on the property. Though Astroneedle was going to be relocated to Six Flags Mexico, the Texas Cyclone, which was once the #1 wooden coaster in the world, and the fan favorite of AstroWorld, was torn down on the property. A section of its track is now in the National Roller Coaster Museum, and its trains were sent to La Ronde. Serpent, the park's first roller coaster, was also demolished, and its trains were sent to Six Flags Over Texas. Viper and XLR8 were also scrapped, with their trains being sent to Over Georgia and Magic Mountain's Ninja Roller Coaster. Dungeon Drop was sent to Six Flags St. Louis's Superman, Tower of Power. Wonderland also reopened Gunslinger. The 610 Limited now is part of a museum. SWAT and Diablo Falls were also relocated to Six Flags New England, reopening as Catapult and Splashwater Falls. Catapult only ran for a 6-year time period, then was scrapped in 2012, mostly due to the model being discontinued. Splashwater Falls was removed on September 5, 2016. Warp 2000 was stripped down for various Six Flags parks. Some of the decorations were put up for auction. Tidal Wave is currently at the Great Escape. As for Looping Starship, well, that was sunk into the bottom of Mammoth Lake in Clute, Texas, starting its new life as an artificial reef. As of 2024, the lot that the park once stood on is nothing. Now the site is just a great field of beautiful green grass. The land is sometimes stabilized and partly paved with asphalt, and is used for overflow parking for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. The park's friendly neighbor, the Astrodome, saw a similar fate, and now is being unused. This means nearly the entire Astrodomain is nothing. In 2018, all that remains of AstroWorld is the long pedestrian viaduct bridge. In 2018, rapper Travis Scott has made an album, and even hosted a fair about AstroWorld since he has experienced the park. However, the citizens of Houston will once again have a new amusement park a few miles away in New Caney. This theme park will be Grand Texas, like I said before. However, no one will forget that for 37 years, it all started at Six Flags AstroWorld.
Can't you see the light in me? Can't you see the light I see? And every time we cross, I feel the stabbing in my heart. Your love is razor sharp.
That was an awesome video. I give it a thumbs up, and I hope you all enjoyed this reaction video. If you're all new to my channel or to Brockstercraft Animations channel, make sure you guys subscribe, give both our videos a thumbs up, hit the notification bell to let you guys know when we both post, and share both of our videos with your friends and family members too, please everybody. And on my channel, we are on the road to 9,000 subscribers. And please help me bring my views and watch hours up on my channel by taking a look at my other videos that are on the 3 playlists. that are on my channel and give them a thumbs up and share them with your friends and family members too, please everybody. I would really appreciate it. And please help me bring my subscriber count up on my channel as well. Also, please everybody, I would really definitely appreciate that too. And please help me accomplish my goal to get 9,000 subscribers or more on my channel as well. Also, please everybody, I would really definitely appreciate it. And the link to Brockstercraft Animations' original video will be down in the description down below. I just thought I'd let everybody know about that. And sorry for mumbling to myself too. Sorry about that, everybody. My bad. And I'm off now, so until next time, see ya.